Hey everybody, the Retweral here, and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney. Okay, so it's... I can't remember what part of the trial we're on. Oh, continue. Trial 3? Wait, the runaway room? When did I make... Ah, that's when I ended the second case. Okay. Ep 3, resume! Alrighty. After a failed session of Leonard's Inception, let's chill out with some Great Ace Attorney and hopefully get to the end of Ep 3. What the hell? Oh, I was about to say, what the hell just happened? Like, why is the music so intense? But it's because of... like, the entire courtroom got smoked for some reason. Alright, let's go. What on earth just happened? Naruhodo, I think I have a grasp of the situation. Good. Let us know, please. Susato. It appears that a very potent smoke grenade was detonated. Smoke grenade? Oh, like the smoke bombs ninjas use? They are verifying the safety of the court now. Preparations to resume the trial are underway. Just who would do something like that? Someone attempting to escape from the Crown Court was captured by the bailiff. Attempting to escape? Well, that's one way to put it. Huh. Oh god, watch it be that woman that was mentioned. Briefly, albeit, but she was still mentioned. Indeed, it was a young girl about 15 years of age. Why are they always 15? That's the same age as that bloody ballerina from the second case. A young girl? Could that be? The third passenger who Mr. McGundle was talking about? I believe so too. I knew it. That third party really did exist. Oh, and whatever happened to Mr. McGundle? There's so much I have to ask him, but he hasn't returned to this lobby. It seems he was summoned to the prosecutor's office to be pressed for information. That young girl is accompanying him as well. Just who is she? A relative. And why did she come to this trial in the first place? She knew it would be risky, and I doubt there was anything to gain from doing so. I also have one issue I am curious of. What would that be? It's the 20 pence. Why? According to what that coachman Beppo has testified, on that night the fee was at 5 pence per person, with 4 passengers on the ride. So the total is 20 pence. The sum matches up perfectly. However, here we have a fifth customer appearing. Once again, the sum of 20 makes no sense. That really is strange. Attorney, head to the Crown Court at once. The preparation for the trial to resume is complete. It will resume in 5 minutes. Got it. I'll head over immediately. In any case, I believe that this girl will take the witness stand. I assume that the contents of her testimony will determine the outcome of this trial. That's usually the case. Shall we go in, Susato? Let's. Oh yeah. Alright, trial 3 is underway. We haven't done any investigation for this case. No. This case has been literally nothing but trial after trial after trial. Or trial to trial to trial. Crown Court. Oh, the jurors are back. Wait a minute, is that her? Ow. It certainly looks like it. Ooh. That young girl next to Mr. McGundle. Could it be? It looks like she's the one who caused that ruckus earlier. Now then, the court is back in session for the trial of Cosney McGundle. Lord Van Zeeks. Yes, my lord. Could you please explain the origin of that strange smoke from earlier? We believe that a military-grade smoke grenade was detonated here. Military-grade? Why is that being used here? The one who attempted to slip out of the courthouse through the smoke has been caught. It was the woman. Yep. The culprit stands right there. Miss, state your name. Were you the one behind the confusion caused by the smoke grenade earlier? Why in heaven's name did you do that? Excuse me, may I, Lord Judge? What is it, defendant? It might be better for me to provide the explanation. in regards to why this girl is here and why she tried to escape. Everything is related to what transpired on the night of the incident, really. Okay. Very well then, the court orders the defendant to testify. Speak in regards to this incident and its relation to this young girl. I wonder what exactly happened during the incident that night. If only I could have heard about all of it before the trial started. Yeah, it probably would have helped, but never mind. Witness testimony. Whoosh. Her relation to the crime. That night I had seated myself on the back seat inside the coach. There I nodded off to sleep. Sometime later, I was woken up by an abrupt, loud sound accompanied by a small scream. In front of my eyes lay a man. I helped him up and sat him on the seats. Though trembling with shock, I investigated the area where the scream had come from. To my surprise, there was a young girl hidden there, curled up tight and quiet as a mouse. Okay. Odd. I'm not sure if I completely understand, but essentially, that young girl, she was riding the omnibus when the crime occurred. You are correct, as the good barrister asserted earlier. There was indeed a fifth passenger on the omnibus. Huh. Very well. It appears it is about time to hear the attorney's cross-examination then. Attorney, are you prepared? Yes, my lord. The judge expects me to clear this up, but I have absolutely no idea what is going on here. Don't know why it pointed over to him. How odd. Her relation to the crime. That night I had seated myself on the back seat inside the coach. There I nodded off to sleep. Mata! When you got on the omnibus, was anyone else on board? No, no one else was inside the coach, nor up on the rooftop seats. In other words, the defendant was the first passenger. Indeed, I was merely sitting comfortably on the back seats inside the omnibus. By back seats, do you mean... Why, as you yourself so expertly pointed out just now, my good barrister, I mean the seat directly across from where the gentleman who'd been stabbed was sitting. It was the most comfortable spot for me, you see. After all, you can't be seen through the skylight from there. Well, that's just making him sound more guilty. Why is Zeke's being so quiet? Sometime later, I was woken up by an abrupt, loud sound accompanied by a small scream. Yep, press everything. A loud noise, and a scream. It was... yes. There was quite a remarkable thud. I believe it was much like the sound of a man falling over. That must have been the sound of the victim, Mr. Mortar, falling over after being stabbed. I was asleep at the time, you see, so I can't say for sure. Furthermore, when I awoke, not another soul did I see in the coach, save for the gentleman laying on the floor before me. There was no one else in there. Yet at the time you said you heard a scream, right? Perhaps that scream arose from the rooftop seating area. No, I heard that scream from inside the coach. What the f... However, at that moment, the scream was the least of my worries. For you see, I could hardly believe what I saw before my own eyes. God, this guy's just giving us the loop. the runaround. Like we're going through hoops. And loop-de-loops. In front of my eyes laid a man. I helped him up and sat him on the seats. He was bleeding severely. You set the victim up on the seat? Oh, so they were right. So he was on the ground. Yes, sir. On the seat right across from me, I had realised he was dead, you see. I felt that it would be disrespectful to simply leave the poor soul on the floor like that. After all, I am a sympathetic man, you know. Huh. Quite a curious story, defendant. Alright, he does speak. Well now, whatever might you mean, Prosecutor Van Zeeks? If a dead man dropped before his very eyes, a sane person would call the coachman at once. Were they your average principled Londoner, that is? As you well know, I hold a rather maligned profession. You're referring to your business as a salary lender, correct? There are those who would borrow money from me, only to be ungrateful and set out to kill me. So the last thing I want would be to get wrapped up in such a nasty affair. Then, you were just going to leave the victim's body like that? Heavens me, of course not. I had intended to report the incident to the police. I simply wished to ensure the circumstances were crystal clear before doing so. The circumstances? Indeed. I thought it a good idea beforehand to investigate anything that struck me as strange. Like where that faint scream I heard really came from, for instance. That would strike anyone as strange, wouldn't you say? The scream he heard alongside the victim falling down, huh? Okay. Though trembling with shock, I investigated the area where the scream had come from. Excuse me, but what do you mean by that? Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you and the victim the only ones in the coach? Correct, at first glance in any case, which means you weren't. At first glance? Yes, indeed. Imagine my shock when I heard that tiny little scream. And it came from directly beneath my rear. Oh! Like a hidden compartment. What in the... beneath your... rear? Right then and there, I lifted up the seat cushion. As it turned out, under the seat was a trunk. Naruhodo, we can take a look at the omnibus too. Come to think of it, it was submitted into evidence, right? Maybe now would be a good time to give it another good look. Anyway, after that, I went ahead and peeked inside the trunk. Huh. Oh god, I can't. Fuck. To my surprise, there was a young girl hidden there, curled up tight and quiet as a mouse. Okay, I see. It has a trunk. What a weird thing. Before we actually read that, I do want to look at this. How do I look inside? Open. Now let us tear open the door and charge into the omnibus. Ugh. No matter how enthusiastically you put it, it's still a crime scene. This is awful. Ah, there we go. There's the blood. So... oh, I can... Yeah, there is a trunk. That's why there's a handle. Looks like there's a handle attached to the seat here. There it is. Huh. The trunk seems to be empty. There's nothing inside at all. What is this feeling in the back of my mind? So there's none here. Oh nice, you can actually look at all this stuff. Oh, that's nice! Huh. So yeah, there's a trunk. One... Okay, so there was actually a fifth passenger, but the fifth passenger wasn't... They didn't pay. They like got smuggled on board or something. What is that? Armband. Oh nice. Alright. She was hiding in the trunk. Yes indeed. That's what I saw. When I caught sight of her cowering there, in the dim light of the lamp, well, I surely thought that my heart was going to stop. Something about all of this seems really off. At any rate, I dragged her out of there. Then I set her on the seat opposite me, intent on hearing what she had to say. The seat opposite you? Yes, right next to the dead chap who was already occupying a spot. You seated this young lady right next to the victim's corpse? As I believe I mentioned earlier, due to the nature of my work, much to my dismay, I've had crosshairs trained on me. Therefore, it was of the utmost importance for me to learn just who exactly this girl was. But then as I was speaking with her, I heard a gentleman scream overhead. That must have been The two passengers on the roof, I suppose. Indeed, that is what I am led to believe. They likely saw the stabbed gent lined up next to what appeared to be a young girl. So you're saying what the two on the roof saw was not you, but instead they saw the victim sitting next to this young lady. That is exactly right. Because you see, I was seated in the back, which cannot be seen from the skylight. What on earth? I see. The defendant does have a somewhat compact physique. I suppose it isn't a stretch to say that this girl could have been mistaken for him. That was when, upon hearing the gentleman scream from the roof, the coachman stopped the omnibus. Enough. The situation is now perfectly clear. However, we now have a fundamental question. Just who exactly is this girl? I'm told that her name is Gina Lestrade. She hides in places where people gather, then pounces out and steals their wallets. Oh! She is what you would call a pickpocket. What? This little girl is a pickpocket? Judge, your wig appears to be, slipping. Order, order! Do you take issue with this claim, Miss, Lestrade? Or Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, answer me at once. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, she has a gun. Heavens! What in the blazes are you? Oh, what in blazes are you? And she's escaping. The girl just disappeared. What are you looking at? Oh, she moved. Oh! If you're looking for me, I'm right here. When did you get over there? Was there any point in moving like that? Not really. What the hell? And I know all about what your adults are thinking. God, this is gonna be hard to read. This dirty maltooler messed up and got caught on the job. She went mental and stabbed that other bloke. Ain't that right? That's not true. A courthouse is a place where we seek the truth. We want to make sure... well, that was green. Don't forget that I'm a pro. My whole livelihood is dependent on these quick fingers. Only cowards use knives. Pickpockets' pride won't stand for it. But it's not cowardly at all to use that thing filled with smoke, right? This, Gov. I picked this up from a bag at the omnibus station the other day. Pretty little thing, don't you think? I think I like me a bit of pink. Don't aim that at me. Is he gonna shatter this? So, you were riding on the omnibus then? It's alright, you'll tell them the truth, won't you? Yeah, that's right. Then the court shall acknowledge this girl, Gina Lestrade, as a new witness. Oh, pardon me. As such, we order you to testify. Speak in regards to what transpired in the omnibus on the night of the incident. Alright, I gotcha. Okay. What the girl saw. As always, I'd already sneaked in before the horse was hitched to the coach. But I couldn't get any business. It was really an awful night. It was pitch dark in my little hiding spot. I seriously couldn't see nothing. I like the way she talks. Then suddenly there was a loud noise. Of course, it was enough to make me scream a little. After that, this old geezer here found me, but he let me get away. Oh, that's everything. He let you get away. Why, defendant, did you allow this girl to flee to begin with? The reason is quite simple. I knew she could not possibly be the culprit, you see. What do you mean? As I said earlier. I was sitting on top of her little hiding spot, the trunk. Let us make sure of it ourselves. This is the very seat I was seated in on the night of the incident. This hiding spot would be the space beneath this seat, yes? Ta-da! Indeed, a young girl would be able to fit and hide in here. But on that night, she wasn't able to exit from that trunk. After all, I was sitting on it the whole time. Oh. So you see, I let her escape. I feared that revealing the girl would draw suspicion towards her, and she'd be arrested. I did not wish to involve this girl, with a future ahead of her with incidents as cruel as this. But as a result, all the suspicion was set on you instead. That is nothing but a trifle. Ooh. I know that I'm innocent, so why should I be afraid? I was willing to put that innocence on the line in order to save this poor little girl. Unbelievable. Oh, what an upright... uptight. I thought that's what she said. What an upright man. My lord. There's no way such a noble man could be the culprit. Wait, is he going to change his vote? And to think we ever doubted you. Shit. If you interpret it with cold hard logic, then it is clear who is correct. Wait. So now they're all on not guilty. What's the catch? Amazing. All 6 jurors have voted not guilty. What's gonna happen? Naruhodo, this means what? This means that we've won. Well, technically yeah, but we still don't know who did it. We won? It doesn't feel real, even when you say it outright. Oh, there it is! Yes! I knew he did that. Yeah, because I said he had a really cool desk slam, but I didn't know when he was gonna do it. How impudent of me to thrash my steel heel about like a brute. I plead for your forgiveness. Oh? Why is everybody so shocked? This is truly it. This is the single greatest weakness of the courtrooms of the Great British Empire. What, they can be swayed by emotion? A legal system which occasionally has mere emotion countervailing evidence or logic. Emotion? Even this very testimony reveals the defendant's true colours. What do you mean by true colours? Scotland Yard has never, nor will it ever, overlook any minor detail in its investigations. When Scotland Yard investigated the omnibus, naturally, they inspected the inside of that trunk. This trunk was full of the coachman's belongings. The report written by the investigative officers clearly says as much. What did you say? Someone tampered with the scene. In a ploy to support this false testimony, someone spirited the items away. What? I knew something was going to happen. Order, order. I cannot believe such a thing to be possible. Of course, I must admit the Yard's culpability is in mistakenly allowing that window of opportunity. However, when I had the omnibus transported into the Old Bailey this morning, the trunk was definitely not empty. So then, Japanese boy. Wait, what? Huh? Uh-oh. Me? He thinks we did it? The omnibus itself was presented to the court as evidence. As an attorney, you should have long since inspected it, both inside and out. What was inside of that trunk? I believe you know, of course. Oh no. Ah, my good barrister. I'm sure you understand, yes? Mr. McGundle? By all means, go ahead and say it. Tell them that Lord Van Zeek's words are no more than baseless accusations. Ooh. Oh god. Well, what are your thoughts, attorney? Are we commenting on what we saw? How should I answer this? What should I say about the contents of the trunk? It was empty, I didn't look there. Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, I know this goes against the narrative, but it was empty. I think it doesn't matter what I say, to be honest. I believe that it was empty. But honestly, I don't remember clearly. Are you kidding me? Bullshit, I don't remember clearly. Sheesh. I thought as much. It seems it would be a mistake to assume these Eastern children have any shred of conscience. Wait, what? Oh, fuck you. Naruhodo. Very well done. That's my fine barrister. I don't like Mr. McGundle. Not particularly. He knows what he should and shouldn't say in this situation. Not the case, I'm just saying what's true. I looked in the trunk, there was bugger all there. Besides, there shouldn't be any need to discuss this any further at this point. The truth is simple. Simply take a look for yourself. Look at it any way you want. It is empty, is it not? Well, that is certainly true. Something feels wrong about this. I agree. Very well. Let's hear the jurors' thoughts. That trunk is meant to hold maintenance equipment for the omnibus. According to the Guild's regulations, it should contain exactly that. Thus, that night was no different. I trust Beppo. The celebrity and the pickpocket are both lying. Oh, for fuck's sake, we're going back and forth. No! Uh-oh. Damn it, I almost forgot. I hate rich people. Rich people never play by the rules. Huh? This can't be happening. That testimony was nothing but a trick. A ruse. I'm afraid that I must agree. Son of a bitch. Well. What is happening? If you interpret it with cold hard logic, then it is clear who is correct. You're saying the same thing as before. Yep. As you can see, my lord, you cannot justify a not guilty verdict at this point in time. Very well. The court believes that a cross-examination is in order. Attorney, this court orders you to begin your cross-examination of these witnesses. Understood. This is too much. Our momentum turned against us, just like that. The rumours about Prosecutor Van Zeek's were no joke. And he just stands there and says nothing. You dick. Alright, cross-examination time! As always, I'd already sneaked in before the horse was hitched to the coach. Gonna press everything again. In other words, you were already in the omnibus before it departed, correct? Yeah, that's right. I sneaked in to steal, so it'd be weird for me to appear to get in, yeah? True. That's for sure. What kind of defense attorney would pay to defend someone? Defense, please do not be swayed by the twisted logic of this pickpocket. Anyway, it would seem the mystery of the coach fare has been resolved, yes? 4 patrons paid 5 pence each, so the coachman's profit is 20 pence. The 5th patron, if you will, rode free of charge. You see, that coachman will always eat up at the pub before the final trip, every time. That was when I decided to slip into the omnibus. Makes sense, doesn't it? However, the trunk under the seat you claim to have hidden yourself in was in fact full of maintenance tools for the coach, was it not? Yeah, brushes, buckets and other odds and ends are always stored in there. Usually I just take all the stuff out and toss it in a corner or something. None of the customers on board ever pay attention to it, surprisingly. However, when the police rushed to the scene upon being notified of the incident, indeed the coachman's tools were still inside the trunk. Well, don't ask me about it. I wouldn't have a clue. I just piled up the coachman's stuff and hid myself in the trunk, that's all. Very well. Now then, please continue with your testimony. I couldn't get any business. It was really an awful night. What do you mean about not getting any business? She didn't steal from anybody. Well, usually in an omnibus, the wind dies down at some point. Just a moment, please. What do you mean by the wind dies down? Oh, that's just a phrase we use. It means all the customers have left, and the coach is all quiet like. So when the wind dies down, that's your chance to leave your hiding spot. Pretty much. But that night, that old bloke was sitting in the seat the whole time. You know what else? He was fast asleep. I was completely shut in. So what you're saying is you were inside the trunk under the seat the whole time up until the incident occurred. Is that correct? Yep. Ain't that right, mister? Yes, indeed. Even I surely would have woken up had I been pushed off the cushion when it was lifted. So it would have been impossible for this girl, Gina, to have committed the crime. It was pitch dark in my little hiding spot, seriously couldn't see nothing. I like how she talks. So you didn't get a good look at the scene inside of the omnibus then? No, so like, normally I would push up the cushion with my head. And then, I'd scope out my prey in secrecy. Your prey? The cushion on the seat I did myself in is harder, oh my god, than the one on the opposite end. Thanks to that, not a lot of people choose to sit on it, know what I mean? But that night, this bloke here just sat right on the seat throughout the whole ride. So because of that, you couldn't see the inside of the coach, right? To be frank, I ain't into dark spaces to make me feel all claustrophobic-like. Or claustrophobic-like. But I had to hide myself there, in order to make sure I wouldn't be found. That being the case, you'd think you'd just give up being a pickpocket. Well, by the looks of things, she has her own troubles as it is. Anyway, I was right scared, but I had no other choice but to be as still as possible. And suddenly there was a loud noise. Of course, it was enough to make me scream a little. Could that loud noise have been the sound of a person falling down on the floor? I'm pretty sure that's what I thought it was. I can't really remember. Either way, I was startled. And before you could stop yourself, you let out a shriek. Then all of a sudden, the cushion on my head got lighter. That must have been when Mr. McGundle was helping the fallen victim back up, right? Or perhaps... it was when he got up from his seat in order to stab the victim sitting across from him. Yep. Doubtful. Witness, at that time, did you happen to see what had happened with your own eyes? I did. When I pushed up the cushion with my head and had a little gander through the opening, It looked like the old bloke was sitting in the other bloke, or sitting the other bloke back up on his seat. That lines up with Mr. McGundle's testimony. And then suddenly he looked back towards me. All instinctive-like. I tried to shrink back down. After that, this old geezer old geezer here found me. But he let me get away. Mata! When Mr. McGundle found you, did he force you out of your hiding spot? I was right scared I was. He sat me on the opposite seat. That was where the victim, Mr. Mortar, was sitting. Right? Yeah, a knife was stabbed in him. And he was bleeding like a sieve. At one point, when the coach shook suddenly, the body fell on me. Ugh. Ugh, how dreadful. That was when I got blood on my hands. And then I conked right out. Blood on both hands. Ah. Is that what the two seated on the roof saw?